I had an interesting one. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, if you had to talk somebody out of moving to Florida, what would you tell them? And then I started talking about humidity, hurricanes, cost of living. And they're like, no, 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 no. He goes, they know about all that stuff. There's video after video explaining everything about storms, humidity, how hot it is, all that. But things that they didn't hear from other YouTube videos and things that people really don't talk about. And I'm like, that's an interesting one. And I said, let me think. So we started talking, and I came up with a bunch of things that I remember people telling me and things that I experienced over the years. So I jotted them down, and that's what I'm doing about this video because now that I think about it is, yeah, a lot of people move out of Florida because of the major reasons, cost of living, hurricanes, and all that stuff, cost of insurance. But there are people out there that actually move out for other reasons. There's people that move here all the time and just love it. Like me, it's not perfect. I don't think there's any perfect place. But once you start thinking about it, it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And that's what I want to talk about today. Things that you could tell somebody to convince them not to move here that's out of the normal stuff that people say on other videos. So let's get started. In the meantime, if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel and it's greatly appreciated. If you need a real estate agent anywhere, my phone number is below. All right, let's go to the first one. But stay till the last one because I think the last one's pretty good. One of the things you have to realize is a little bit like California. Like I'm from the Northeast, New York, and all that stuff. And in New York, I could pretty much get anywhere without driving. This public transportation, there's trains from Long Island. I went to the city all the time, all that stuff. But in Florida, you won't realize how much you depend on a vehicle. And this is a driving state. Okay, you say, there's a public transportation. Yeah, there's a few buses. I hardly ever seen the buses. The trains, I mean, there's Amtrak that takes you to Virginia or something like that, and down. There's a train that goes from Orlando to Miami, but pretty much anywhere you want to go in Florida, you're going to need a vehicle. And vehicles, at the same time, to insure them in Florida is pretty harsh. So I would say, yeah, if you're not a big driving person, you want to be able to walk places and do all that stuff, it's really not going to happen. You're going to need a vehicle. Even if you live in small towns that you walk downtown or, take a golf cart or take your bicycle, at the end of the day, you're going to need a vehicle living in Florida. And a lot of people find that as a negative, that they need a vehicle just to get around. Here's the second thing. And the weather here, and I'm going to touch on, yes, it gets hot and humidity, but that's not where I'm going with number two. Where I'm going with number two is you don't realize how much you live inside in Florida. You go from your house to your car, from your car to the store, from your store back to your car, back to air conditioning. You're always chasing, especially during the hot months, you're always chasing that air conditioner. Okay? A lot of people cannot handle the heat and the humidity in Florida. And if you really think about it, like in San Diego, when I go to San Diego, the weather's beautiful. It's like 72 all year long. But here in Florida, you're like, you know what? Most people spend 90% of their time inside in Florida. They really do. If you really think about it, and if you're an outdoors person and you like it, June, July, August, September, it's brutal. Plan on being inside. Like our summer is like the Northeast winter, like when it's dark and gloomy and it gets dark at 4 o'clock. Over here, when it gets really, really hot and humid, you want to spend more time inside, you know, or in the pool or something. Just you're always trying to cool yourself off. So that's number two. You're going to be living inside more than you realize. Bugs, pest control is something in Florida that you have to deal with. It's it's not like the Northeast and everything. Over here, you got to deal with palmetto bugs. We have to deal with termites. You know, most people have an exterminator come to their house every 6 months and spray it. The mosquitoes, even where I live, at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to hear a truck buzzing down the street at a high pace. And what that noise is a generator, and it's shooting out a mist they do it in the middle of the night, but it's to kill all the mosquitoes and all the bugs. Because I've been in some areas in Florida that they don't spray for mosquitoes, and it's like unbelievable. Like you feel like you're being eaten alive. So when it comes to pests, bugs, you know, pretty much snakes, all that stuff, depending on where you are in Florida, you're going to have to deal with it. It's not something that you'll be like, you know what, I don't care, I'm not going to deal with it. It's I can't even tell you, like even over here, like when it gets cold out, we have what's called a lot of tree rats. And when I do inspections, if you go up into the attics, you're going to see droppings. So you have to go around the house and seal all the holes, especially where the air conditioner lines go up, because otherwise rodents will go, will go up in the attic and they'll try to keep warm when it does get cold here in the winter. Or if you have citrus trees or stuff like that, it attracts rats. So it's a constant battle. You know, they were here before us and they're going to be here after us, but it's a constant battle. So yeah, people don't think about it. It's like, all right, I got to deal with pests, pretty much all year long in Florida, which is true. Another thing that houses in Florida, okay, and again, I owned houses in Colorado, Maine, New Hampshire, pretty much everywhere. And the houses in Florida require so much more maintenance, okay, from other states. I'm talking about the sun is brutal when it comes to, houses. If you live on the water, the salt water, the salt, all that stuff is unbelievable. So you always have to do maintenance on the outside of the house, paint the house, power wash, mold, and algae grows on the house. So you're gonna be power washing all year long. Like if you see my fence right now, I just cleaned it not that long ago, and it's already, you know, the algae is growing back dramatically already, so much. The grass, I just cut it. Every week you have to cut the grass. So when it comes to maintenance in Florida on a house, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. So a lot of people are saying, you know what? I didn't realize how much maintenance a house needs. It needs a lot of maintenance here in Florida. It's not like other states. Let's continue with the theme of the house, okay? You have to pay more attention, not only the maintenance of the house, but the roof. Like if you're in Florida and they say, hey, it's a 30-year shingle on that house, pretty much after 15 years, plan on replacing it because A, the sun is brutal on it. So, and the insurance companies will probably send you a letter saying, hey, we want a new roof on the house after 15, 16 years. But not only that, but like air conditioning, like the air conditioner units. These units, like say a 4-ton with an air handler that you need in Florida, you're talking about $8,000 to $10,000 to replace it, and plan on replacing it at least every 10 years. And in Florida, you got to worry about drainage situations, so you're always constantly fighting the storms and the drainage around houses that normally you don't, in other states, especially Northeast, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. So like I wrote some things, window seals, like the window seals, you got to make sure because we get so much rain and stuff here that you want to make sure the window seals have maintenance. All exterior openings, again, termites, all that stuff, you really have to consider all that stuff because that stuff is like, you know what? Some people move away just because of some of that stuff because it's just too much. They're just like, I just can't deal and keep up with all the maintenance of the house. I got to mention on number 7, HOAs and associations are a bigger deal than people think, okay? A lot of people live in HOA communities. Like I'm in an HOA, but the stricter ones, there's good ones and there's bad ones, but there's a lot of bad ones too. So condo community deed restrictions, all that stuff. What does that mean? And I see a lot of people leaving Florida because of this one, or moving to another location that's not HOA restricted. Like when somebody's selling a house and they don't have an HOA, they actually advertise it like it's a good thing, like it's a benefit. Hey, we don't have an HOA here. We don't have a deed restrictions. We're not going to have everybody all over you think. Because what does it mean, HOAs? Rules, fees, boards, approval process, special assessment, reserve funding that you have to make sure, property, appreciation rules, appearance rules, rental rules if you want to rent something out. And at the beginning, you're like, oh, that's good. So we can keep everybody in line. But at the end of the day, it does more like people like, oh, no way, I'm not moving. Like me, I would never move to a strict HOA gated community. It's just not into it. Like, I'll put it this way. I was doing an inspection in HOA the other day, and I pulled into the driveway, and literally I had somebody with a golf cart come up to me and say, "Hey, you're blocking the sidewalk." I said, "No, I'm not." They're like, "Yeah, if you look at it from this angle, you're good over the sidewalk at least 5 or 6 inches." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm the enforcer for the associations." I was literally laughing at them. Never move into a place like that. Here's another one that people get. Florida feels like transient place. Okay, you have the snowbirds, you have people that have vacation, people that come down here just for retirement but don't stay long because they miss their grandkids or family or whatever. So I even see it in my neighborhood here. I've been here for a while now, but I think the neighborhood flipped over a couple of times. What do I mean by that? A lot of people moved in and moved out already, and then new people moved in. I used to know everybody in my neighborhood, and now pretty much there's a whole new crowd in here. And so, yes, people don't like that about Florida, transient. Like if you're from the Northeast, like I'm from a place called Island Park, New York, back in the day, like everybody knew everybody, but everybody stayed there for a really, really long time. It just in Florida, it's a big transient community. People come in here, they figure out they don't like it for some reason, and they leave. So you become friends with somebody, and then next thing you know, hey, I'm moving back to Pennsylvania, I'm moving back to New York, I'm moving back to wherever. Yeah, there's nobody like say, hey, yeah, I've been here 30 years. I haven't ran into anybody like that. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, number 9. Paradise becomes normal faster than you think. This is a big psychological one. All right. So at first, when you move here, you're like, okay, palm trees are amazing, sunsets are amazing, beaches are amazing, warm winters are amazing. But after a few years, you become desensitized to this. This is probably one of the biggest things. Like you really become like even when I'm at my property and I'm on the golf, and when I first got there, I was like all excited, looking at oh look, there's a dolphin in front of the house and stuff, swimming in the canal and stuff. That's great. But now it's like, yeah, it's no big deal because I've seen our manatees. It used to be all exciting, but now it's like you become desensitized. But after a few years, when that becomes normal, what matters is I wrote down some notes. Your house, okay, if it's the house you like, your neighbors, your routine is important, your commute, your finances, your friends, your lifestyles. Okay, you don't you don't live where you vacation or you grocery shops. So basically, after a while, like when I lived in Colorado, I lived in a place called Bailey, Colorado. And when I woke up in the morning, I had a house up in the mountains. I could see the snow caps. Even in the summer, I could see the snow capped mountains and everything. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing. I would go out there, drink my coffee, and be like, "Oh, that's beautiful. What a view!" But after a couple of years, I was like, whatever. I don't even notice it. And that's what I mean by being desensitized. Comment below on that one. Tell me what you guys think. All right. This is number 10. This is the most important one. The people that are happiest that moved to Florida are the people that had a game plan and built a life around moving to Florida. All right, so what do I mean by that? Okay, basically they have friends, they have hobbies like golf, boating, they have churches. I mean, we have churches on every corner, clubs, pickleball, volunteering, part-time work, family nearby, social structure. Those people that move to Florida and basically created that, built their life around things like that, are the ones that are the happiest and the ones that will survive and stay in Florida. The people that don't build their life around that and don't even think about that stuff until after the fact are the people that regret moving to Florida and actually move away. And that's from me talking to tons of people, because every time I do inspection and somebody says, hey, I'm moving away or I'm moving back, I ask them why, and they give me, because they never built a life around the structure of living in Florida. They moved to Florida for the vacation feeling, okay? And trust me, that vacation feeling goes away. Some people are going to disagree with that statement, but I think most people won't disagree with that statement. So basically, at the end of the day, those are a lot of reasons why it may not be a good idea for somebody to move to Florida, okay? On top of cost of insurance, cost of car insurance, cost of the extreme hurricanes, the traffic, the humidity, the heat. I could do a whole list. I think I have videos, the pros and cons of living in Florida. But if you move to Florida and you're building your life around the last stuff I told you about and put that stuff first and then move to a location that you could have a lot of that stuff, I think you'll do okay. But yeah, if you want to talk somebody out of not moving to Florida, okay, tell them, add some of this stuff to it too, so they can think about it. Anyways, that's today's video. I greatly appreciate you guys watching till the end. Do me a favor again, consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel, and my phone number is below. Text me, email me. If you have any questions about real estate, and watch this video right here. I think it's going to be here or here, but watch it. I picked it out just for you guys. Thanks, and have a great day.